Hi, my name is Michele Bowden. I'm here with Clean Water Action. Chair and members of the committee, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today and for hearing this bill, and also wanted to thank Senator Satchel for introducing S2068 and for his support in the past couple years of this bill. I'm asking you to support S2068 to prohibit the use of PFAS or perfluorinated chemicals in food packaging here in Rhode Island, as well as the bill to regulate PFAS in drinking ground and surface waters. I'm going to focus my testimony on PFAS in food packaging. There has been a lot of news in the past couple of years surrounding the subject of the toxic chemical PFAS. The Teflon chemical, as has been mentioned. The EPA has started working on an action plan to deal with the water contamination that has affected communities around the country. At this time, it is estimated that PFAS has contaminated the water of 110 million Americans. A year ago, a story came out about a dairy farm in Maine that's entire milk supply has been ruined because the wastewater sludge that was used as fertilizer on its fields was contaminated with PFAS. This is a quote from the farmer. "Toxic chemicals that I never used and never even knew about until 2 years ago have contaminated my cow's milk, ruined my farming, and hurt my family. Since then, a few other farms around the country have discovered similar contamination." We support efforts to regulate PFAS in drinking ground and surface waters, but we also know that the sources of the contamination also need to be addressed. This bill is an opportunity to stop pollution at the source. In addition to its many other uses, PFAS is used as a coating on food packaging to keep food from sticking to wrappers, such as microwavable popcorn bags. And pizza boxes, two of my favorite foods. So, unfortunately, it can leach into the food we eat and build up in our bodies like mercury. This type of packaging is often seen as compostable and often even labeled as compostable. When it is composted, the chemicals leach into the soil and are taken up by the plants grown in it and can leach into groundwater, nearby waterways, and the water that we drink. Michael Bradley from Appliance Organics, a local composter, is going to say a little bit more about the problems with PFAS in compost. PFAS can have many negative health effects such as cancer, reproductive problems, liver damage, low birth weights, and early menopause, among other health effects. Dr. Slit, who will follow us, is going to tell you more about the health effects of this class of chemicals. The good news is that it's only found in 40% of food packaging, which means it isn't necessary. There are plenty of safe and healthy alternatives. Businesses are going to have no trouble switching to safer packaging, and if they feel that it's too annoying, I would ask them to think about the pregnant woman who just wants to make the right choice for her baby, but doesn't have the information to do so. That was me last year. My baby's healthy. Just thinking about it makes me cry, but he's fine. But I was pregnant last year, trying really hard to make the right decisions about everything that I put into my body, everything that I came into contact with. And the thing about PFAS is that it's out there and you don't know where it is, and you can't make that choice for yourself. So that's where we're asking you to help us. Another important factor, is that PFAS affects low-income communities disproportionately. Low-income communities often do not have access to fresh and unpackaged food. Therefore, they have greater exposure rates to this dangerous chemical. Opponents to this bill will tell you that the new generation of PFAS are not harmful to health. This isn't true. They actually build up in our bodies faster than old generation PFAS. These chemicals aren't necessary, and we don't need them in our food packaging. They will also say that the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, regulates PFAS in food packaging, therefore states should not regulate them. In reality, the FDA's regulations governing chemicals in food packaging are weak, not transparent, and ineffective. This is nothing new to states like ours, and they have put in place the strongest regulations on flame retardant chemicals in the absence of strong federal rules. In my written testimony, I explain more about the ineffective FDA process in much greater detail. Maine banned the use of PFAS and phthalates in food packaging in 2019, and Washington State banned them in 2017. In addition, New York prohibited state agencies from purchasing food packaging that contained PFAS in 2019. This year, Connecticut, Iowa, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Minnesota, New York, Virginia, and Vermont are also considering this same legislation. Some companies like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's have committed to removing packaging with PFAS from their stores, but not everyone can afford to shop at these stores, and we need you to help create a level playing field by protecting us all and getting rid of PFAS in food packaging. I also would like to highlight, because we know that PFAS is already in our environment, in the water that we drink, we support S2235 to regulate it in drinking, ground, and surface waters. And this year you can tackle a source as well as protect people at the tap. I want to end by thanking you all, this body, for what you did in 2017. Senator Satchel mentioned this already, to protect families in Rhode Island from toxic flame retardants, and ask you to continue that legacy this year by putting public health first once again. So thank you very much for your time. Happy to answer any questions.